Bro, what the fuck?
Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah. Ay. I just wanna touch the top. Baby said that she in love and she don't love the lie. Been chillin' with all the bros, I've been above the spot. Shawty said that things change, well it does a lot. Hey, watching out the payment, man, the suds is high. Yeah, lost inside the heart, but it's emerging right. I've been out the way and I'm good. I can find my home. Everything I said it was is not. Yeah, Jamaica, how you layin'? Yeah, you ain't say nothing, what you saying, baby? I lost you, but who's paying? Don't know why you hit my phone, why you playing? Yeah, I can't handle it without the trusting. Yeah, I can see the top, I wanna touch it. Yeah, we been getting money, no discussion. I don't let the top of shorty always get the fussy. Yeah, hey, I like to cruise on it. Say she like the way I sound and how I groove on them. I been steady dodging bullets, how I move on them. But he talking out his neck and not a crew on them. Yeah, and I'm sliding. Shawty like the vibe, don't want the ride to end. Yeah, right. To the nice end, yeah. To the nice end. I can always keep the cool, I'm never fighting. Man, our love was all the cake without the icing. Now I found new love, different pricing. And it won't cost my soul, no devices. Yeah, I ain't got a plan for it, I'm the man for it. Saying Brody couldn't stand for it, it's very important. I've been off the edge, I've been feeling the wind blowing. I can lose my head and my heart, but they been gone. I just hit the edge of stairs when it's dead time. I just lost promises, I regret mine. I just gained a lot of love on the west side. I'm the go, but I would never be the best guy. You might take me out of business like I'm Best Buy. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Yeah. Talk about the go to maybe soon, I know that's right. Thinking about the future, looking good and it's the best side.
What's going on, guys? Tyco here, taking a quick break in the action to tell you about sixpackcoverage.com. You can go on there and check out all your favorite sports, finance, food and travel, fitness, and entertainment podcasts. They've got it all on there, as well as content from all of your favorite colleges, with more on the way and more added every day. So make sure you check that out, as well as the merchandise tab. Be sure to get all of your six-pack coverage gear at the merch tab there with the hats, flags, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys check it out today, sixpackcoverage.com.
Well. Welcome back to another episode of Ride the Tide Sports Podcast, Season 3, episode, I'll see it in a second, 11. But it's a very special episode because it's an all mostly football recap pod. Yes, you normally don't see us on Mondays, but it's a special podcast because it's a football podcast. But I am not here alone. I got two other guests, and that's the boys, Tyco and Snoop Luke. And here they are. Bada bing, bada boom.
Howdy.
Yeah, definitely. It's not exactly a special podcast. Dylan kind of got it right, but you kind of got it right, but you kind of got it wrong. We're going to be changing up the days that we're doing the podcast now to adjust to the new schedule that we're running with the tailgates and everything, which we'll get to in a second. But we're going to be recording live on Mondays, doing a picks recap from the weekend. Also talking about the college football and NFL football games from the weekend. And then we'll be live again on Wednesday for non-football podcast. It is MLB, it is NBA, it is NHL, and that is Jesse and Dylan will be live on Wednesdays. I will be producing it for them, but Jesse and Dylan live on Wednesdays for all your other sports news. And then back again live on Fridays, most likely a Friday night or possibly record it Thursday, release it Friday for you guys to get 3 podcasts in during the week. That way we can kind of spread it out more and, get everything we want to covered without talking for an hour and 45 minutes and putting you and myself to sleep. So we're gonna make it better, more condensed podcast where we kind of stay more along the same subject lines, rather than trying to throw all this different stuff at you. But with that being said, let's get into it. Starting off with Ride the Tide tailgates. Just want to touch base on this a little bit. Last weekend, first ever Ride the Tide sports podcast tailgate, Ride the Tide tailgates. We brought a bunch of T-shirts for the podcast and for the tailgates, and gave those out to the students at Central Michigan. We partied in the parking lots for about 4 or 5 hours, and we met a lot of great people there. Fire up for sure. That was a great time, great experience. Met a lot of great people that you'll probably end up seeing probably on the podcast very soon with a couple connections that we made, and possibly some new merchandise in the future as well with a custom creation. But we'll get into that when we get to it. But with that being said, really looking forward to our next tailgate at Grand Valley. Just real quick, what do you guys have to say about the first tailgate at Central?
That was absolutely great. Couldn't have gone any better, in my opinion. Well, probably could have, but, for what we had, it was great.
Oh, and we robbed the casino of everybody doubling their money, so there's that too. Dylan, first time at the casino.
Ended on a good night at the casino. That was nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it was perfect. It was a great tailgate. It was I don't think it could have went any better personally for the first one. I mean, it was more of a test of waters type of thing, and I think we knocked it out of the fucking park. And secondly, I think that Grand Valley is going to be even better. I think that it's going to go crazy. I think the people are going to turn up. And then thirdly, first time at the casino, walked in with $50, walked out with $170. Not too bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Too bad.
You got that beginner's luck, though, so I'm glad you didn't walk out saying, God, I love the casino. God, I love the casino. Thank God. Because, anyway. But at Grand Valley, which is the next scheduled Ride the Tide tailgate, we will also be with our boy, Lezu. He is going to be live at the tailgate. He told me he'd give me a little live performance if we played his song. So, songs, plural. But new album dropping September 23rd. The date has been announced, September 23rd, Lezu dropping the new album. So we'll definitely be promoting that for him. And, he's the one that makes the intro that you guys hear for our podcast. So shout out to Lezu, one of our fans. We're one of his biggest fans as well. So Grand Valley is going to go crazy. And, he stands by that. Yes, sir. Shout out Lezu. So without further ado, college football, my friends. Week 2 takeaways. Do you want to start in Michigan and work our way elsewhere?
I say we end in Michigan.
I guess.
Okay, we can end in Michigan,
I
but
guess.
that's fine. Biggest game first, Texas and Alabama. As we were walking out of the casino, we had to watch Alabama make a game-winning field goal to beat Texas.
Yeah, that's not normal.
Nah. I didn't know this would be a heavyweight slug match like it was, but apparently Texas has the gonads that I didn't think they had. And Alabama, by the way, I know Zach Fuller was out here asking me about the college rankings and, hey, why is Alabama number 1? It doesn't make any sense. They're not number 1 anymore. They have moved to number 2, and Georgia is rightfully number 1, where they should have been at the beginning of the season because they are out here clobbering teams and are the former national champions.
Dude, I feel bad for Texas because Texas had such a shot to win this game. They had this fucking game won, and then they let Alabama do Alabama things, and then to knock it off, Ewers, their fucking starting QB, who is supposed to be the main star, the main, guy, him with Bijan, that's going to get this team going.
Quinn Ewers.
Now he's fucking out. For a pretty good amount of time. I believe he's going to be out to like week 8. So how I look at it is, if Texas would have won this game, you would be looking at it with optimism, and All-Card could have came in. But now you lost the game in Alabama, and the quarterback's hurt. And I just think it's going to snowball downhill. I don't like it.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, you lost to the number 1 team in the nation at that time by a field goal. That doesn't really kill you in the AP poll as much as losing to Marshall, Notre Dame.
Can we talk about this real quick? I want to talk about this real quick. Now, I get Alabama's the number 1 team in the country. They can talk
They're
shit.
not.
Or no, not anymore. Not anymore. They're now moved. But at the time, they were. And they can talk all the shit that they want about this and that. But when you come in, play that horribly, beat Texas and escape by 1, and you have Nick Saban screaming, cut that shit out because you want to do horns down to the fans and to every player and start shit. I get it when you win every game 55-10 in that, but I just felt like this was the wrong fucking game, and it looked bad on their part.
It did look bad on their part, especially because Texas was not supposed to be hanging in with them. It was a 21-point spread. You know, that's 3 fucking touchdowns. It's not supposed to be a 3-point game with 10 seconds left. So I see where Nick Saban's coming from, but I also see where the players are coming from.
I get
this is college football.
Up. I get it.
This is college football. It's about the atmosphere. It's about everyone saying, like, you know, the game was not going to be close. It ended up being close, which makes it more interesting and gets the fans and the players more fired up when it's closer. So I get the whole horns down thing, but I totally see where Nick Saban's coming from getting mad at that because you're supposed to beat him by 3 touchdowns and you barely squeaked by.
Correct. But anyways, you
Luke,
can go on to that. Oh, Luke,
you got anything
to say? He's muted.
It's happened so often.
You could blame it on the missed kick at the end of the first half. You could blame it on some bad reffing at the end of the game. You could just, I don't know. I mean, sucks for Texas. I mean, I really don't think Alabama players should be doing the horns down, squeaking by such a small school like that, because that's a little embarrassing.
It does suck.
But
sucks a bucket of balls.
It is the environment, but at the same time, you're the big time team that literally basically almost lost to them, but you had to squeak by with a comeback.
Dude, yeah. I just want to see Alabama play a fucking another top 25 team, because I don't think it's going to go the way most people are expecting it to this year, because after this it's opened so many eyes, bro.
Well, I can
guarantee this, let's keep talking about college football. Let's pretend like they're like what, the only top 25 team that lost?
No, there's 34 more.
No, let's keep going. I mentioned it a couple minutes ago, but Notre Dame, who started this season at 5, lost to Marshall, a MAC school.
That's just brutal.
What's going on with Notre Dame?
Dog, I'm gonna be honest, bro. In the two games I've seen from Notre Dame, they've done the same thing in both games. They immediately have to play catch up, and they do it all fucking game until it's too late. The only difference between the games was Ohio State had a higher caliber offense, so they could pull away more in the second half. Whereas Marshall, as you would expect, doesn't have that high of a high caliber offense and can only escape by a 5-point win. I felt like they're continuously playing catch up, and this just honestly makes me rethink everything about Notre Dame's team, offensively, defensively. It's fucking horrible. What do you know what they are now? What they're ranked now? Because there's no way they're top 10.
Notre Dame. Let me see if I can get that for you. Current AP poll.
They shouldn't be top 20.
Let's see. We got number 1 Georgia, 2 Alabama, 3 Ohio State, 4 Michigan, 5 Clemson, 6 Oklahoma, 7 USC, who is 2-0, 8 Oklahoma State, 9 Kentucky, 10 Arkansas, 11 Michigan State, 12 BYU, 13 Miami, 14 Utah, 15 Tennessee, 16 North Carolina State, 17 Baylor, 18 Florida, 19 Wake Forest, 20 Ole Miss, 21 Texas, 22 Penn State, 23 Pittsburgh, 24 Texas A&M dropped 18 spots.
They're
not even on there.
List.
You have been cut from the list.
They're not even on the list. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't be.
No, they shouldn't be.
What
legend
says right here?
I've only seen fraudulent things from day one. Okay, that's all I've seen is fraudulent things out of Notre Dame from day one. We knew they didn't have an offense. I didn't know it was this bad.
We've never talked about Marshall on this goddamn podcast for good reason.
No, Marshall only made an impact because, hey, they beat Notre Dame.
Holy fuck.
But yeah, no, that happened.
I guess we can get into the third biggest upset, and I guess we'll start with Luke. Sadly, the Texas A&M boys could not beat Appalachian State 17-14 loss.
Hey, Dylan, if I remember correctly, there's another team that Appalachian State upset one time, and it was one of the biggest upsets ever. I wonder what team was that?
Luke, can you
did they wear?
I can't remember.
Is it? No, it's not. It's not West Virginia. They're blue and gold though. It's close.
Michigan.
It rhymes with like. Gaze and goo.
Tyler. Hey, I think it was Michigan.
Oh yeah.
It was Michigan.
So you're telling me that Appalachian State just messed this man up twice?
Yeah,
once before he cared about football and once after?
We should probably check in on him. Luke, how you doing?
Luke, you're muted, but how is it?
Well, I mean, pretty good because Michigan's still doing good, and Texas A&M, you know, I like when they're doing good, but it's sad to see them lose that one.
This makes it a lot more difficult for them to get to the college football championship, as you have predicted, Luke.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're just going to beat Bama again, and then
it's another field goal, baby.
Honestly, I could see it happening right now. That game at this point should be very close.
I think every college football game this year has a chance to be close based on what I've seen and what I don't know about all these transfer students. There's so much unknown that I don't know that's playing into these games.
Staying with the underdogs, shout out Ryan Bookout. Hate to do it to you, but we got to talk about it.
Yes, Wisconsin.
19, Wisconsin loses to Washington State 17-14. And the problem is when it comes to Wisconsin's offense, it looked decent, which was what makes things weird. They had 227 yards, 2 touchdowns from Mertz, and then you go to rushing, and he has 21 attempts, 98 yards. Then you go to receiving. Oh. No, also decent. So here's what makes things confusing to me. Only 14 points to show.
Yeah. Little bit of red zone execution. Do we have any missed field goals potentially? I feel like we might have had some missed field goals.
I know that it was never more than a 7-point game the entire game. I know that.
I like to keep it close. I mean, love keeping it close.
But anyways, I'm going to say this. Not that I thought Wisconsin was going to be some amazing team this year.
Oh, well, why would we?
I did not expect them to lose to Washington State. I normally expect their hype to be built up a little more till week 4, week 5. But it's tough.
It's but
now
then again, I don't root for very many Wisconsin teams.
Now the question is, do any of you want to talk about any of the big teams that had big blowouts, or do you just want to talk about the other close games of good
teams?
I
want to talk about the Baylor BYU game that went into overtime. I didn't get to watch it because I don't stay up at those hours.
I don't know how I watched it. I was I really don't.
So please, Dylan. I only saw highlights.
It's because we've had Baylor. That's why I had to watch.
Okay, awesome. Now dive into it because I can't dive into it as much as I want to.
Now overtime was blurry because I was half asleep. Exactly, this game went in overtime.
Fair, but I didn't see even.
I will
anything.
say in regulation, it was a very close game back and forth. I thought that is it Brigham? I think it's Brigham. Brigham Young.
Brigham Young?
Yes.
You're welcome.
I think that kicker. But anyways. The next thing I want to talk about is the actual game, which is the fact that I thought it was a very good passing game back and forth. Sorry, I had to pull the stats up back in front of me because I wanted to refresh my brain. And that's why you don't do drugs, kids. The second I saw Hall, I immediately remembered that him from BYU was slinging it all around the field. I think that it was a very close game, back and forth. The biggest takeaway that I had from the game was both defenses made close stops when they needed to, and then when they went into overtime, I thought after the first overtime, Baylor was going to win. Second overtime, BYU wins. I don't know how you guys feel about the new overtime rules, but I think that it makes it more exciting because it could kind of be back and forth anyway.
Refresh me. There's new overtime rules to the new overtime rules of last year?
Yes.
Like the possession shit?
Yes.
Yeah. What?
I'm trying to pull them up right now because Bookie explained them all to me up north, and that's how I found out about all of them. So now I'm trying to look up college football overtime rules.
There's new rules after they just made a bunch of new rules.
That's what I told Bookie because I didn't believe him.
Got it.
Explaining how the new OT format works.
I'm confused.
NCAA is changing the overtime rules by, at the end of regulation, the referee will toss a coin. The winner gets to choose either to play offense or defense. Yeah. The team that loses the coin toss must exercise the remaining option. Yeah, okay, I know that. In each of the first 2 overtime period, teams are granted 1 possession at the opponent's 25-yard line unless a penalty occurs to move them back. The offense can place the ball anywhere or between the hash marks. Each team is granted 1 timeout per overtime regulation. Each team retains the ball until it is fair to score, fails to make a first down, or turns the ball over. Beginning with the second overtime period, teams must attempt to score from a 2-point conversion.
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
The third overtime rule, teams will begin to run alternating 2-point conversions instead of... So once you hit third overtime, you just start on the 2-yard line, and then you go back and forth until someone doesn't score. That's what Bookie was explaining. That's the new rule.
Thank you, Dylan.
And we saw a 7 overtime game this weekend because of that.
Well, shit. Well, I mean, hey, they want more overtime. There you go. That's how you get more overtime right there. When it comes to the picks, though, the picks were not great, and we're still not looking great because the NFL didn't want to be any nicer. But college football picks record after week 2, I'm 2-4. Dylan's 2-4. Jesse's 2-4. Luke's 1-5. I mean, we're all looking pretty shitty.
We're all looking pretty shit.
We're all looking pretty bad. And it's only because I think I haven't been whack with my picks. And I think that this weekend you'll see the most wackadoo picks you've ever seen from me. And I'm going 6-0. That's all I have to say about that. Going 6-0 because I'm getting wacky. But you'll have to stay tuned for that on Friday. So with that being said, if there's any more college football you guys want to talk about, I mean, Michigan did destroy Hawaii, but they didn't cover the spread, so that still pisses us off.
Shout out to Cade, not covering the spread. Can't fucking
Yeah,
up.
actually, before we move on from college football, I believe that Luke's been telling me that he's been having some things he has to get off his chest on the quarterback situation in Michigan. So I'm gonna hand the floor over to Luke.
Okay,
I really wouldn't say off my chest. I would just say,
I would
just say that I mean, we had Michigan had an opportunity. They had the biggest spread in the history of the school. And Harbaugh's like, hey, second half, JJ's been doing good. All right, let's put in Cade. See what he can do. Let's compare him. Can't do shit. Then throws a pick. And then I shut off the game. So I was like, they're not hitting the spread with this, man. And they didn't hit the spread. And that's how you lost your spot, Cade.
I say we send Cade to Southern Utah. Their quarterback was 11 for 21 with 42 total yards as they lost 7-73 to Utah.
Yes, they need him.
They need him bad.
NIL deal.
I just saw this scrolling. They lost 73-7. He went 11 for 21 with 42 yards and 2 picks.
I'm just happy we finally have an answer so we can start scheming our offense.
Well, that's absolutely disgusting.
Is Utah that good or is Southern Utah that bad?
Yes. They're that bad. I'm going to go with they're that bad. But we're going to move on from college football and get into NFL football. So, I don't know where you guys want to start. There's a lot of places we could start.
We could just start in order.
Sure. From 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock to Monday night. Sure, let's do it. All right.
So we
get into it. Sonny boy. Lions game?
Thursday night? You want to just do it?
We did Thursday. Did we not? No, we didn't.
You want to rip the Band-Aid off, Ty?
Yeah, you know what? Let me just rip the Band-Aid off. Yeah,
all right,
we can do
take
that.
it away. I'll let you handle it.
We can do that. So, look, I told you what team's winning the Super Bowl. Okay, let's just start with that. I told you what team's winning the Super Bowl, so it's only right that they beat one of my teams. Now, will we win the next 6, 7, 8, 9 games? Yeah, I'm confident. But I don't think that we were supposed to beat the Bills, okay? And I'm all right with that because there's a lot of other games that we can win, okay? Now, the Bills will win the Super Bowl, so it's okay. For that reason, it's okay, and for any other reason, it's not. Every other reason, it's not okay. But Matthew Stafford. What about Stafford?
4 picks.
He was playing like a motherfucking Detroit Lion, Dylan. I don't think that this needs to be something that I need to talk about. Matthew Stafford is no longer my quarterback. However, Jared Goff is also not my quarterback. My quarterback is a college quarterback. Okay, has to be because Lions fucking need a college quarterback. Stafford has to be thrown off of the fucking ship. Okay, it's despicable. He needs arm surgery. He needs to fuck off and go get Tommy John with his other baseball player friends that he does the offseason with.
This is a man who spent a whole year saying, my quarterback.
He was my quarterback. He was. Because he had one job. Okay?
Correct.
It was to leave Detroit, get a Super Bowl, fuck off forever. We're now at fuck off forever. That's where we're at.
That's the core.
It was get a Super Bowl, fuck off forever, like prove your point and be gone. He proved his point. It's time to be gone. Okay? Time to be gone. And now, about 1 week in, he's collapsing. About 2 to 3 weeks in, he'll need surgery. It's coming. Just wait. It's coming. Dylan, anything on the Rams game?
I can give you something to try to just be nice. Okay, Cooper Kupp, 13 receptions, 128.
Oh, well, there's a reason I drafted Cooper Kupp for my fantasy team and not Matthew Stafford, Dylan.
I can give you something.
I know who's the productive one.
Cooper Kupp did go crazy. So there's one thing for Rams fans to be like, okay, Cooper Kupp still is the Cooper Kupp form he was last year. If you want to talk about the Bills game, all I really have to say is Josh Allen is him, 297 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. And he had 30 fantasy points. And I'm only saying that while still throwing 2 interceptions because his QBR rating was still 112 with 2 picks, which is super fucking rare. And when it came to receiving yards, Stephon Diggs absolutely burnt Jalen Ramsey like toast. That's about it. Luke?
Oh, all I really got to say is I'm happy how the Bills defense performed. They looked really good. They're gonna be pretty dominant this year.
They didn't blitz once and had all those sacks.
Dude, fucking Von Miller. Oh my God.
Miller destroyed them.
Every other play he's in the
9
backfield.
tackles.
Yeah, like 4 tackles for a loss or some shit.
OBJ's going to the fucking Bills and shit's gonna get dangerous.
Well, OBJ is the ring chaser, so
he's the KD of the NBA or the NFL.
He's the Marion Hossa.
He's Bennett. Bro. Yeah. I mean, if we're just comparing sports, those all fit.
The shoe
Everybody fits the shoe. Yep, exactly. Exactly that. What game we got next, Ellen?
All right, now we can go into these fucking absolutely nutty 1 o'clock games. And the very first one I see in front of me is the one that I'm actually not going to talk about because there's 2 people that went to the game. And that is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions is crazy.
Whether the team's good or bad, some things will never change in Detroit.
The muck, the grind.
That's that grit.
Well, I guess Philly fans and Detroit fans don't mix.
No, they really have never.
Time for the Lions. I see such a different team these days, and I'm extremely excited for our future. We must beat the Commanders, though. Yes, I think week 2 is very important.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. All right.
Yeah.
Week 2, okay. Ford Field was absolutely fucking rocking. All right.
Bumping.
Luke had never even been to a regular season Lions game. And I was like, you don't even understand. It's not like this. Okay. This doesn't happen. This is like Thanksgiving against like Minnesota kicking a field goal to win the game vibes all game.
You know,
Like,
I might never go to another game again, so that's just my only experience of the Detroit Lions live.
yeah, it's fucking nuts. So
even though they lost, but
here's my thing. Next week they're at home again,
story of them.
and they're taking on the Commanders. They're taking on a less mobile quarterback. And here's the thing that I've heard is that everyone's like, Aiden Hutchinson didn't perform. He didn't perform. There was no sacks, no this. Aiden Hutchinson was getting through the line in like 2 seconds. Like, but then Jalen Hurts was running fucking for 10 yards. Like, he was in the fucking pocket, but they weren't playing contained. They were not. You had all summer to prepare for Jalen Hurts, who you know is better with his legs than he is with his arm, and you didn't prepare for having to contain Jalen Hurts
or AJ Brown.
They just continuously collapsed the pocket and let Jalen Hurts get free. And when Jalen Hurts got free, that's when the plays broke down. That's when the AJ Brown for 70 yards happened. That's
160 yards AJ had.
Yeah. I can't wait to play the Minnesota Vikings and see what Justin Jefferson wants to do that day.
Oh, fuck a duck.
But at least it's Kirk Cousins, so like Aiden can get to Kirk, Kirk's not going to run away.
I did hear a stat where I don't know, I couldn't remember I didn't hear if it was about just yards in general or just rushing yards. But when Aiden Hutchinson was on the field, Philly's offense averaged about like 2.6 or 2.7 yards. And when he was not on the field, they averaged like over 10.
Well, game changer. What can you say?
I want to say one thing.
But he still needs to get to the quarterback.
No, that's true. But I think that's just his first game. He rookie. I mean, it was just true. It was just true. Welcome to the NFL moment.
And it was a bad scheme.
Because I wasn't at the game, but from a visual standpoint,
yeah,
Rodriguez, Hutchinson, and fucking Okudah. Those three.
Okudah showed that he
because Okudah
plays well when he's not injured.
Devontae Smith had 5 targets with Okudah on him, 0 catches.
Yep. That man was like
really good.
That man was like a ghost, Devontae Smith.
He knows he's got to have a really big year.
Okudah just has to just not cramp up, and then we can have him all game, and then
So overall, are you guys happy with how the Lions game went?
Yeah, they covered the spread.
Yeah, I'm not expecting them to go win the Super Bowl.
1-0 against the spread.
After what I've seen last year, yes.
All right, then let's zip it right into game number 2 with the New Orleans Saints pulling out the comeback W.
Oh, wait, time out. My point got completely nullified. The game against the Commanders.
Oh, yeah.
Is a must win because if you start off the season 0-2 after saying all this is going to be different, after hard knocks, after yada yada, after sold out crowd, after barely losing to the Eagles, you better beat the Commanders by 14 points at least.
I agree. That's a must.
You better show that we got something here. All right, that's all I'm saying.
You need to win. I agree. But now let's get into the Saints comeback W win against the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, the Falcons are looking good going in the second half.
Hey, Mariota looks fucking solid.
He looked solid.
Marcus Mariota looked solid. Minus the one
Falcons
fumble.
Blew a 16-point
solid.
lead. It's not something we have never seen before.
We've seen worse.
Already week 1 football, and the Falcons already blew the lead.
He had 215 passing yards. I think that he was 20 for 30. Yes, 20 for 33. Rushing yards, he had 72 rushing yards and a touchdown. Mariota was solid. I had no problem with Mariota at all. Cordero Patterson played like Cordero Patterson. Drake London actually surprisingly had 5 receptions, 74 yards, and he looked really good as well. But the one thing that I think is not surprising the most is the fact that they blew a lead. And then on top of it, Michael Thomas is back. Michael Thomas had 2 very clutch, and Jarvis.
How did Mr. Pitts look? That's what I haven't heard that name yet.
I'll talk about Pitts. Let me just say this. Jarvis Landry, 7 receptions, 114 yards. Michael Thomas, 5 receptions, 57 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then when it comes to how Kyle Pitts played, 2 receptions, 19 yards on 3 targets. Not very
locked.
But anyways, I want to say one thing. Jameis Winston, very good. I think he 23 for 34, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think the Saints played really well. Good comeback W. What do you guys think?
I think they played the Falcons. I think that has 80% to do with it.
Shouldn't be winning on a game-winning kick.
No. No, definitely not. Like I said, I like the performance from the Falcons and Mariota from a team that, is not expected to do a lot this year.
They're a 5-win team.
Yeah, they looked pretty good. They looked like Mariota has a starting role in the NFL. I'm not saying that he's one of the best, but I think that he could prove a lot this year. I think that the Saints look solid. Michael Thomas proved that when Michael Thomas wants to do something, he can do it. But when he doesn't want to do it, Lord knows he's not going to do it.
He must be Michael Thomas.
He must be Michael Thomas by definition. That's exactly who he is. But honestly, good for Winston. He gets a lot of hate. He's one of the wackiest guys ever. He gave everyone a fucking lesson on their head, shoulder, knees, and toes. And then he goes out and wins week 1. So I guess, say more wacky shit. But I don't know, man. Jameis Winston he's a special character in this league.
Get that W.
You got problems, Dylan.
I was trying to do it the whole time.
You don't even do it right, okay? You don't even do it right. Eat that dub.
Can we talk about Can we also talk about the fact that they only use Kamara in 6 plays?
It's kind of normal for RB1s week 1 to not get a ton of the workload if they didn't do a shit ton in the preseason. So that's not the wildest thing, but it is disappointing.
Dylan, he got 5 running attempts and 1 target with 1 reception.
Why am I looking at 9 attempts for 39 yards?
I don't know.
I'm on ESPN.
I'm on fantasy.
I trust me more than you.
Honestly, I really
Wait, isn't that
trust
also
you more than me.
ESPN?
Yeah.
Wait, now I'm confused. That's why you don't do drugs, kids. All you need to know is he didn't play a whole lot. But the one thing I will say, lastly, Taysom Hill, 4 attempts, 81 yards. He just had 1 drive that was all Taysom Hill, and that's what Taysom Hill does. I still don't understand how when he enters the field, everyone doesn't realize he's probably going to fucking get the ball, and then he gets the fucking ball on every play he ran. He ran 5 plays on that drive. Taysom Hill got the ball 4 out of the 5 plays. And every fucking time it was like they weren't ready for it. Okay.
Hey Dylan. You ever played Madden ever in your whole life? Have you ever played Madden?
Yes.
Yes or no? You ever played somebody in Madden? You ever played online and they just run 1 play and it works every time?
No, but I'm saying last year this is all Taysom did against
You ever played Madden this year against Donald Parham Jr., Dylan? You know that if you throw it to him every single play, it's gonna work?
He's not throwing
Maybe Madden isn't as wild as I think. Maybe they're just playing tendencies.
He's just getting it and running an option or a power.
Yeah, but when you know it's gonna work, and you do it and it works.
Yeah.
You know what that's called? It's called imposing your will. You're saying this is what we're gonna do, and I know it's gonna work, so try to stop it, and then they don't stop it. So you know what you do? You do it again.
I agree. That's a good point. Does anyone else have anything else to say, or you want to talk about how the fucking Bears somehow beat the 49ers?
I'm more than happy to talk about that.
I can tell you right now, monsoon hitting that entire game.
Yeah, that stadium was under fucking water.
That
was one of the sickest celebrations I've ever seen.
They were in a pool. That was literally anybody's game, no matter which team was playing in that game.
I think Trey Lance looked like doo-doo.
Well, I mean, it's hard
that you can't really
look good in that.
I think Justin Fields looked like doo-doo. You want to know why? Because you can't throw the ball in a fucking monsoon. So I understand it. I'm not mad at either of them. That's where I was going with this. They both look like doo-doo, but at the same time, I don't know if fucking Mahomes and Allen could have went on that field and had a fucking duel. Because in the conditions you were playing in, like you said, in a monsoon, you're not going to do anything. So where do you go? You go on the run game. It took Elijah Mitchell, fucking 2 quarters to get hurt? Fucking big surprise there. I mean, no one's really shocked. The 49ers are never going to win a game when 2 to 3 of their key offensive players are just consistently injured, and it sucks for them. It really sucks.
It took
what's wild is that happens
in those conditions.
I'm not
They
surprised
literally lose like 2 to 3 players every single year and then make it to the NFC Championship.
I went, oh no, if this was any, like, I was like, please don't be the 49ers or the Ravens because it will be an injury bloodbath. And it was the 49ers. And I said, oh, God. Oh, God. But the Bears, I will say this. Good comeback, Dub. Shout out to Montgomery because I can't really shout out anyone else. Shout out Montgomery. Nah, fuck it. I'm not shouting out anyone else. I'll shout out Khalil Herbert's fucking touchdown, I guess. But Montgomery had 17 rushes, and he basically had most of the load. When I go to catching, Pettis had a 51-yard touchdown, but Montgomery had 3 catches for 24 yards. I mean, defense did really good. Deebo Samuel, you made him fumble. But at the same time, I probably think anyone would have fucking fumbled in those conditions. The game was a shit show. I mean, I'm just going to say that. It really was.
All right, let's talk about something that wasn't a shit show then. You're killing me.
That was Jacksonville and Washington.
I'm waiting for you to move on to this fucking game.
Really good game. Jacksonville and Washington was actually a really good game. I thought Jacksonville at some point was going to win this game, and then another.
Jacksonville lost this game. Washington did not win this game. Jacksonville had this game and lost it.
Correct. And Carson Wentz had 313 yards and 4 touchdowns, which also
Carson Wentz is a bum. Come on, Jacksonville.
And fucking Dotson, who I really liked in Madden because I just going to say it straight up. I thought he was a dog. Did really fucking good for receiving. Dotson had 3 receptions, 40 yards, and 2 insanely clutch touchdowns. Scary Terry had a big touchdown. Samuel did good. Everyone was catching the ball and balling over there, to be honest, in Washington, which shows you that defensively for the Jaguars, that sucks. Christian Kirk, that big boatload of money, at least he did something with 6 receptions and 117 yards. But, yeah, I don't think that Jacksonville played all that well, and the Commanders kept it closed. And then also, I don't know if you saw, Forrest, hell of a defensive player. He had one of the biggest hits of the week. Full Sean Taylor vibes on that fucking hit that popped the ball out. Then he had the pick that sealed the game. He had a bunch of clutch tackles. I just want to shout him out real quick. He had a really good game.
You want to talk about a big hit? Did you see the motherfucker that killed Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
I was going to talk about that.
The hit stick on Derrick Henry could have been heard from miles away, I feel like. Oh, my God.
Anybody that pops Derrick Henry as big as he is, you're going to hear.
Derrick Henry was mid-air when he got shouldered. He was mid-stride, like hurdling over someone that was on the ground, and he just got
the definition of getting blown up.
Any other player, I would have been terrified, but weirdly, when I was like, all right, he'll get back up.
Oh, he'll get back up, but oh my God. You know how hype I'd be if that guy that just smashed Derrick Henry into the ground? I was like, what? But can we talk about that? Because I need to peel this Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
We need to rip this one off. Losing. Oh my God. Losing to the. Sorry, I can't even say it out loud. I want you to say it actually. What happened, Dylan? What happened? What was the final score of what game?
The Tennessee Titans lost to the New York Giants because the Tennessee Titans are really, really, really
That's disgusting.
bad against bad teams. How did we play against the Jets last year? We lost
horrible
on a game-winning kick for Bullock. He missed it. Exactly just like this. Exactly just like this. The exact same fucking way, just in overtime. Game-winning kick, Bullock sucks. Fucking game-winning kick again, Bullock sucks. It's so obvious, bro. It's fucking Bullock, get him the fuck out of here. Why was he cut from Cincinnati? Because he fucking sucked. How does he play on Tennessee? He fucking sucks. And then when you go over to the offensive coordinator, he's even worse, bro. Todd Bowles is a pile of shit. I don't understand how he can't call plays. Sam Hilliard is finally fucking getting the most possessions. He's getting the most catches. He has 2 fucking touchdowns in the first half. Absolutely going up. What do you do second half? You leave him open and you stop throwing the ball and you get the runs up when their run defense is the only thing that's been fucking happening. What is wrong with you? He's a fucking idiot. And if Vrabel doesn't get rid of him before the end of the year, the offense is going to keep getting worse. Tannehill had 260 yards. He must be fucking Tannehill. He played average as fuck because he's an average fucking quarterback. And this game just infuriated me because last year we consistently played shitty against shit teams and really good against good teams. Maybe you haven't realized, Tennessee, but you don't have the fucking caliber of a team this year where you're going to be playing really good against really good teams. The Bills next week, I have no fucking idea how that's going to go. It could be a massacre. But the problem is that you are going to have to rely on the big teams to get your wins when you can't beat the shit teams. It's not going to happen. You got to beat the shit teams and then win or lose the big games, ride out to a 9-10 win season. Fuck, I'm sorry for the rant, but holy shit, this game made me mad.
All I want to say is Captain Bark Knees. He's back. I'm excited. He's not on my team, but I'm still excited for the mans. He said, this is my game. He said, take a seat, Henry. He said, I'm the king of this field. That's what he did.
He did. It was RB1 versus RB1 over there, and the Giants came out on top, and it honestly shocked me. But, hey, Dylan said it best, man. Tennessee just plays bad against bad teams. Ryan Tannehill stoops down at least 4 levels each time.
Tannehill wasn't even the problem. It was the fucking offensive coordinator. He was calling the most bullshit plays. He didn't make any sense, bro. I was shaking my head the entire fourth quarter. He was so bad. 3 open plays in the fourth quarter, and he threw it to the fucking tight end who was covered. Double. I don't understand it. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm just going to fucking keep going. But anyways, can we just talk about a different game, please and thank you? Because I would love to talk about the fact that Green Bay lost to Minnesota 23-7.
Oh, yes. Let's please indulge
Justin Jefferson, 184 receiving yards.
Oh, yes.
And Aaron Rodgers has not a damn receiver. You knew it was magical when the game started with Christian Watson dropping that wide open pass, and the rest was history. You two talk about this game. I'm out of fucking breath.
Luke,
well,
you can go first.
I've said it from the start. Since he lost those receivers, this is exactly what it was going to look like. He was going to have to start throwing himself the ball because he can't throw to anybody else. He's going to start lofting it up, start throwing his own routes. He's going to start slanting left and in on his own ball. He's going to have to because obviously nothing else is working.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Randall Cobb and his Walker couldn't get anything going.
Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, I knew Jesse would agree with that one. But I'm with you, Luke. I mean, who else is going to catch the ball but himself, you know? I mean, let's just not overreact, though, because let's all think back to what happened last year, week 1 with Green Bay. They didn't have Aaron Rodgers at training camp. They came out week 1, and they pooped the bed. And I don't know if I remember correctly, but I'm pretty sure they finished in a decent spot last year. Maybe?
Yeah, that's true. But they also had,
that one guy,
Davante Adams.
Oh yeah, that one guy.
I want nothing more than for them to lose on Sunday Night Football to the Bears.
Oh, that would be beautiful too.
Don't worry, he's still.
Bears. Not that I want the Bears to go 2-0 to start off the year, but.
I want the Packers to start off.
He still has Cobb, though, that he only threw the ball like twice to.
Yeah. Cobb, Lazard was out that game.
If we can all just start off with winning,
whatever,
except for Green Bay, and I can just see for once in my lifetime that
Green Bay at the bottom with 0-2, and everyone else is 2-0, 1-1.
I can't even. It would be too good.
Would you screenshot it and frame it?
But yes, I would. What are your guys? Do you guys have any comments on Justin Jefferson? Absolutely best receiving performance of week 1, I think we could say.
No, I don't have any comments on that. I think that, well, I guess if I had to comment on it, I would just say that Green Bay doesn't have a fucking secondary, so.
Very true.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Luke, you have him in fantasy. I know that was fun for you.
I loved it. He ate. He got nice and full. He went back for more. He didn't just get seconds. He got thirds. He got fourths. He went back for the scraps after everything was done.
You know what, Luke?
He was eating them to the bone.
You need to put that in a briefcase and walk up out of here.
No.
I'm confused.
Luke, we'll just stay on you because the next game we got is Tua and the Dolphins beating the Patriots 20-7.
Tua, baby. Tua, God believe in the two dog.
Tua was 23 for 33, 200.
And this is where we switch gears. Shut up, Dylan. Hold on. Time the fuck out. Dak Prescott out 6 to 8 weeks. What does that mean? It is Tua time. I have to ride this motherfucker harder than I've ever rode a quarterback before to save my fantasy football season after one goddamn week. Because guess who drafted Dak Prescott? Me. Guess who drafted Tua? Me. So who's riding Tua now? Me. What's going to happen? I really don't know. But I really hope Tyreek Hill goes in the locker room this week. It says, Tua, you need to throw me the ball 12 times a game. I will get 3 touchdowns. And Tua says, fine, deal, done. And that's what happens from here on out. I need Tua more than Luke has ever supported Tua before. So I'm here for it, and I support it.
Welcome to the ship!
Team Tua.
Team Tua, baby!
I'm still well on that life raft, just peeping at the ship. I think Tua played average. I think that there was some throws that were just really off target. I think that I watched Tyreek Hill have 2 catches, one in particular where he was intercepting the defender from catching the ball because Tua was going to throw a pick on 2 occasions. I think he had a really good pass to Jalen Waddle, though. I really like that touchdown. Still just not sold on him yet. But I probably will be soon if he continue. If the Dolphins play well, okay, and in the next coming games, and they're starting off 4-1, 3-0, and their defense is playing well, I'll probably be sold shortly. But right now, I'm not.
You better, because right now you're on the Titanic and it's sinking.
Well,
buddy.
Maybe it is, but right now.
And the Dolphins aren't gonna come saving your ass in the
water. I don't know. I don't need the Dolphins to save me. Okay with it. But the good thing is my team isn't the only team that lost. Tyler's team lost.
What's going on, guys? Tycho here, taking a quick break in the action to tell you about sixpackcoverage.com. You can go on there and check out all your favorite sports, finance, food and travel, fitness, and entertainment podcasts. They've got it all on there, as well as content from all of your favorite colleges, with more on the way and more added every day. So make sure you check that out, as well as the merchandise tab. Be sure to get all of your six-pack coverage gear at the merch tab there with the hats, flags, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys check it out today, sixpackcoverage.com.
Alrighty, next game we got is my team lost, Luke's team lost. We'll get into that. Tyler's team lost. Now let's get into Jesse's team. Who also lost? Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh. Yes, all 4 of our
It's so shitty.
So Cincinnati Bengals and Pittsburgh Steelers in the what the fuck just happened game of the week. Yes, every week we're probably gonna have a what the fuck just happened game of the week, and this is the first one for week 1, and it is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
What the fuck just happened?
That's how I'm feeling. We need a fucking soundbite for that.
I'll get one. Perfect.
Now, here's the first thing I want to talk about. Joe Burrow, 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions. That's how he started the first half. Holy Super Bowl hangover. That is not good.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Jamar Chase kind of bailed him out there with 130 yards and a tutty, but no one else really did anything. And to top it all off, T. Higgins got hurt. So let's just start with the Bengals before we get into the OT and the madness. Boys, this offense did not look very good.
Let's just remember that the Bengals were a 6-7 team last year before they went on their hot streak to win the make it to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
So they were not some like 10-1 team, like, oh, it's the fucking Bengals. Like, they were an average team until they caught fire midway through the year.
I agree.
So I think that this is just what they do.
Well, I mean,
what they did last year. It's just, will they catch fire again?
I mean, I thought I had a nice advantage with the Bills' defense and fantasy because I was like, oh, the Bills did fantastic. But then here comes the Steelers. They're like, yeah, fuck you. We're gonna have the better.
What do you tell me, Luke? What do you tell me about Mike Tomlin?
He bought the entire defense black Air Force Ones before the game.
And then he did the fucking Antonio Brown dance in
Entire
the locker room
defense.
after the game, bro. He was
Hey,
goated that week. I can't
He's
even
ready.
lie.
Mike Tomlin's ready this year. He said, "Fuck all the bullshit."
I
We're
agree.
going.
Now we can get into what made this game a what the fuck moment, and that is closing out the game. Game-winning touchdown, Jamar Chase. I don't know about you guys, but I got LSU Florida State vibes immediately. Game-winning touchdown, Jamar Chase. No time on the clock. They had 2 seconds. They can get the PAT off. And, of course, what happens? Everyone's asking, why did they pay Minkah Fitzpatrick so much money on Twitter? Well, he had a pick, and then here's why. Blocks the fucking game-winning extra point with no time on the clock. We go into overtime. Evan McPherson, he is set up pretty perfectly here. He's got about a 20-some yarder. Snaps high. We don't have the right kicker. Keep that in mind because that became the factor. Evan McPherson misses the kick. Holy shit. Steelers have a chance. Chris Boswell, 55-yarder in the wind. They're going to win the game. Boink City off the post. Cincinnati has a chance, and they absolutely butt-fuck their time management with having 15 extra seconds to kill before punting the ball away after getting stopped. They decide to leave those 15 seconds on the clock, which allows Pittsburgh, with less than 15 seconds left, to hit the game-winning field goal. No time on the clock. Pittsburgh wins week 1.
All right. Well, you want to talk about kicking? Well, let me give you something with kicking, okay? All right. Okay, hear this. Randy Bullock, Tennessee Titans, 47 yards, wide left. Evan McPherson, Cincinnati Bengals, 29 yards, high snap. Chris Ball, Pittsburgh Steelers, 55 yards, doinks the uprights. Rodrigo Blankenship, Indianapolis Colts, 42 yards, wide right. Younghoe Koo, Falcons, not a miss, but a block kick that ended the game. Literally like 7 different missed or blocked kicks on Sunday. The NFL is becoming a madhouse, and kickers are wild. They're unpredictable this year, and nothing is guaranteed.
Dude, there's Olympic athletes that like kick and do that shit for a living that will fucking never miss.
No, but
and yet you
NFL kickers, man.
It's ridiculous.
Different type of gig going on there.
It's fucking ridiculous. But
yeah, but at the same time, you also got to realize there's pressure in these games.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just a carefree. They're taking their sweet time, and they have all the time in the world just to line it up perfectly and then hit it right. No, it's a quick pace.
In practice.
They got to go in front of thousands of people with defense rushing at them, trying to kill them to stop that shit. Like, that's a high intensity moment. Like, I mean, kickers aren't prone to like
not getting destroyed. You can get destroyed. You got to do that shit quick.
That's true.
And everything has to go perfect. So there are some problems there.
The next game is 17-point Colts comeback to force a tie, 20-20. And I don't even really want to talk about this game because
look, the fact that they tied with the Texans is despicable. And I mean,
I got nothing to say.
Hey, Davis Mills looked good. You can't tell me
Jonathan Taylor got 31 fucking attempts.
Well, Jonathan Taylor is the whole team.
Hey man, I told you before the season started. Watch out for Mills.
Hey, Davis Mills, man. He looks pretty good. I'll give it to him. Davis Mills looks solid.
I'm not backing him, but I like his sneakiness.
Does anyone else have anything else to add on this game?
No.
Perfect.
Not a single thing.
Go to the Browns and the Baker Bowl, finally winning a Week 1 game, 26-24 with a game-winning field goal with 8 seconds left. Baker first half.
Just happens to be against Baker.
Baker first half, it landed on tails. He played like shit. Second half landed on heads, and he played good.
Well, look, they only had 7 points until the fourth quarter. So I would say that he was good for 25% of that game.
Well, the third quarter is when he threw the deep ball to Robbie Anderson, which forced that touchdown. That's the only reason why I would say that. But yes,
very back half of the game, I give
Jacoby
it to him. But
Brissett, he didn't.
I kind of. You guys remember us talking about this matchup when this kind of trade happens? And I was just like, dude, how funny would it be if the Browns actually beat them?
And they did.
And they did.
What's embarrassing is for the Panthers head coach to really have Jacoby Brissett walk in there and drop his pants in front of your home crowd and walk out with his pants just down. Like, fuck you guys. Suck my cock. I don't care who you think I am or what you think I can do. I just beat you, and you have all your starters, and no one thinks I'm good or worth half a shit, but I want to know.
Yeah.
I told you it was two.
It
was
first 1-0 tweet, by the way, for the Browns Twitter account since Twitter was created. They have not won an opening day game since Twitter became a thing in 2006. So they got to tweet 1-0 for the first time ever.
Also, I just remembered.
It was too perfect a setup for them not to win, I swear.
I just remembered when you said that I saw arguably might be the best Twitter post that I've seen the entire week. And that was before the Bengals game and the Steelers game started. Cincinnati on Twitter changed their headline to "What are you even stealing?" as their bio. Well, after the game, Pittsburgh replied and said, "The football," because they had 5 turnovers.
What are you even stealing? Turnover. Oh, by the way, we blocked the game winner too.
Honestly, my favorite social media moment from the NFL is when the Jags tweeted they're 1-0, they're undefeated.
Last year,
and then they lost every single fucking game.
Hey man, social media is dangerous. It's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game these teams play.
But the next game we got to, we got to get it to the final team that couldn't win. That is Luke's Arizona Cardinals. As Patrick Mahomes had 5 touchdowns, 360 yards. Did Patrick Mahomes?
They pooped on him. They showed no mercy.
144-21.
Luke. Well, I mean, what can I really say about this game?
Shit, I don't know.
Not a lot of good shit.
I mean, did I expect Mahomes to be that crazy week 1 with the new squadron he has? Hell the fuck no. But apparently he has no issue with it. So I guess he's an issue again. He's a major issue again if he can work with that squad.
I think Kyler Murray is a major issue.
He's an issue for Arizona. Come on, get to an AZ. What are we doing here?
Okay.
All right. Next game we got here is the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. This one just makes me sad. Joe Flacco
shit the bed. He shit the bed. Do not sugarcoat it. Do not sugarcoat it. I will remove you for good. You will not sugarcoat Joe Flacco. You will come back in here and you will say the truth, and you know what's right.
The truth.
Say it. Say it. Say what he did.
He threw the ball 59 times.
And?
He had 37 completions. He had 37 completions for 300 yards. That's not that bad.
Did they win?
You throw the ball enough times.
300 yards.
You kind of get some yards.
59 times. It's not horrible, but they lost the game because they're still the Jets. So here's what I told Tyler. I said, I have a new analysis. Here's what we do, okay? If we don't want Joe Flacco week 2 throwing the ball 59 times against the against the Browns, I get that, okay? Maybe we don't want that. Mike White is still the backup. And
you need to put that in a briefcase and walk up out of here.
You're only getting 1 game.
You already got his 1 game.
I think I just did the world a favor. He is boosting Mike White.
Again.
He's boosting Mike White as if it's a good idea to just put him in because you can.
For 1 game.
Dylan,
you only have him for 1 game, so you use him for this 1 game.
I will say it one more time and one more time only.
You need to put that in a briefcase and walk up out of here.
You have him. I'm just saying he's an option.
Put that in the briefcase. Walk up out of here.
Jets.
You're sounding like Skip right now.
Jets.
You're sounding like Skip.
Let's go Jets.
You sound like Skip. All right, move on.
Anyways, the next game we have to get into is the Chargers and the Raiders. 24-19. Chargers W. Herbert had 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. Derek Carr had 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, but also had 3 interceptions. And then we can shout out Devontae Adams, 10 receptions, 141 yards, and a touchdown. And then over on the Chargers side, Keenan Allen had 4 receptions and 66 yards before getting injured. Who wants to start?
I'll start. Fuck you, Mike Williams. Wow, that's really all I had. Where were you, bro? Where were you? That's all I really got. Like, I love Herbert, but like now that Allen's injured, can we show up next week, maybe? Oh wait, you're getting benched, buddy. So maybe you should show up while you're on the bench so that I can get pissed off and put you back in. Because that's the only way that I see this working out between the two of us. Other than that, we have a pretty fractured relationship at the moment.
Anyone else that has him in fantasy, you better play him because Ty's going to bench him and he's going to go off.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
I can just see it happening right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And we can just roll into this final game, which was Sunday Night Football from last night. Cowboys, Buccaneers in Dallas, 19-3. Tom Brady came out, pooped on the Cowboys. Dak Prescott is hurt. He is injured until week 8 or 9.
I just keep shitting on me. Why not?
It's just not what you want to see from Dak. It's Cooper Rush time. And when it comes
Dak got a little high five, and now he needs surgery.
And now, fucking Leonard Fournette had 21 rushes, 127 yards. That was pretty damn good. Buccaneers, the game wasn't really that exciting. I don't really have a whole much left to add except for it's going to be another long season for Dallas.
Yeah.
And then I believe Tyler was going to come back in.
No, Cooper Rush is going to come save the day.
Yeah, okay, Cooper Rush is going to come in and fucking save the day.
Oh, Tua, baby, Tua.
Tua was the only man that can save Tyler and dick him out of
drop Dak and pick up Cooper Rush.
No, I can't.
Tyler, there's something else that might be able to cheer you up, and that is because for Monday Night Football, I believe the boys are cooking up a little parlay.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I guess we're not.
That will not cheer me up with those saddening news, but only if we hit this same game parlay. So yeah, let's get into it. We are not going to be picking the games today. The lines will move too much throughout the week and shit. So we're going to give it to you as close as possible. So we're going to give you our picks on Friday when we dive into the games. So make sure you guys tune in on Friday's podcast to get those picks. But let's get into the Monday Night Football pick. The game starts in 20 minutes. So let's build that parlay right now. Let's see. I'll just do what I told you guys earlier. I'm going to ask a question and get into it here. So then by the end of my questions being asked, we will have a same game parlay built. That's the plan. And they're offering me another promotion. I love it. All right. Denver Broncos at Seattle Seahawks. The return of Russ Daddy to Seattle, but this time in a different jersey. So my first question goes to Dylan. All right, Dylan, guess the correct score. No, I'm just shitting with you.
I was about to say.
All right. Same game parlay. Player passing yards. Russell Wilson, his over-under for passing yards is 253.5. Are we going over or are we going under? Russell Wilson's first game. He's playing against Seattle. Team 12 going to be there. Probably going to be loud. They're going to be cheering against him this time. Over under 253 passing yards.
I think Russell's going to go to Seattle. He's going to have that crowd. There's only one thing in his mind, and that's put on a show and get a win. And I think that with both of those happening, the over hits. So give me the over for that.
All right, we'll take the over 253.5. Next up, I'll go over to Luke. I'm going to go to player receiving yards, and I'm going to head on over here to Jerry Jeudy, 58.5. We just took the over on Russ Daddy for passing yards, but will it be partially due to Jerry Jeudy getting over 58.5 passing or receiving yards? And you are muted, my friend.
gonna be the over, and I'm gonna say that because I have him for like 64.5 yards in another way.
Okay, well, we'll take that for sure. Over 58.5 added on there. Next up, let's see. We'll go back to Dylan here. I'll do 2 at the end here. Dylan, player rushing yards. Melvin Gordon, his over-under is set at 38.5.
I'm actually going to take the under on this because I think that Big Dick Javonte Williams is going to be getting majority of the snaps, majority of the rushing yards, and that Melvin will be more of a backup guy, maybe if they're at the 1-yard line, punch-in type of back. But Javonte Williams should be gaining most of the yards, so under 38 for Melvin Gordon rushing.
Okay, for sure. Luke, we'll go back to you for the last one. This one is a little bit slightly more difficult, and it does involve maybe some more thought. Can you give me an anytime touchdown scorer? I will put them on the screen.
Cortland Sutton.
Russell Wilson.
No, we don't.
Tell me you're lying. I kind of want to back it.
We do?
I feel like he's gonna
Russell
rush. I feel
Wilson.
like he's gonna run one in, and the place is gonna light up. He's only plus 650. I'm not gonna cap. I'll put it on there. I'll put it on there. I can back it. I will back it. I will back it, Luke. All right. Finally, the last 2. I'll let you guys tell me if you agree or disagree, and then I'll finalize it. Okay? I'll make it, but then you tell me if you agree or not. Denver Broncos and Seattle Seahawks. The spread is 6.5 points. Denver minus 6.5. Yes. Over under 43.5. I'm thinking the over.
I'm thinking
and I
under.
think it's only because Denver is going to slaughter them on primetime.
See, I'm thinking like a 31-7, 28-10 type game.
Luke, you're the deciding factor. We are split.
I am kind of feeling it under because I do love Geno, Russell's replacement. I think he's good, but the team entirely just is. Well, I mean, they still got some wide receivers, but they're still not going to get enough points. They're going to be an issue for the entire Seattle team. Give me the under in that one.
I know life's too short to bet it, but that's just.
But it's a beautiful night, boys. It's 73 degrees. No wind.
It's a beautiful day for Geno to go throw 2 picks.
Will Russell cover it himself?
Look, all I'm saying is we got Russell Wilson over. We got Judy over. We're asking for yards. Why are we not asking for points?
If this, dude, why don't we just not touch the over/under? I feel confident.
Okay, we just take Denver minus 6.5.
Yeah, because I feel like through everything else, I'm so confident with this parlay.
Okay. All right, and then what if I gotta throw one more in here for myself?
Right.
What if I go to another alternate yardage here? Tyler Lockett to get 40+ receiving yards.
He's gonna get 2 catches for like 60 yards, so I would take it. You know, he's gonna get 1 catch for like 40 yards. So that'll
finish it off.
I would take it, yeah.
And that'll finish off the parlay. So the final. Russell Wilson over 253.5 passing yards. Jerry Jeudy over 58.5 receiving yards. This is via FanDuel. Melvin Gordon under 38.5 rushing yards. Russell Wilson anytime touchdown scorer. Denver Broncos to win by 6.5. Tyler Lockett to get 40+ receiving yards. Plus 10,423. So, to put that into perspective, $25 gets you $2,605. Or you can go a little lighter, throw 10 on it, get yourself $1,000. You want to throw 5 on it, there's $500.
Tyler, you got to stay awake.
All right. I'll stay awake. Luke, what are we doing? How much are we throwing?
You know, I'm deciding between a little. I'm just might sprinkle a little 25 on it.
All right. 25, lock it in. Well, that's all I got. That's all I got. So, NFL. Monday Night Football. It starts in 20 minutes. So, we're gonna get on to the NFL picks after week 1, just to keep you guys updated. Snoop has the Monday Night Football game as one of his picks, so he is currently 1-1 right now. Could be 2-1, could be 1-2. Maybe one of us will be positive.
He better be fucking 2-1
Yeah,
off our parlay.
you better be 2-1. So McDilly 1-2, Wanderer and Tycho, myself both 0-3. The NFL was wild week 1. It was wild.
It always is.
So many upsets, and so that's what you get. But we got UFC with Snoop Luke to wrap up today's podcast, and you guys will see me next time. By the way, yeah, cash the ticket. Mike Valeni. I didn't know I'd shout him out, but he went 5-1 on his NFL picks.
Come on now.
I listened to him the whole way up, and I didn't bet any of them. I'm an idiot, so I won't be listening to cash the ticket, but see what Mike's cooking up. But I'm gonna cook up something of my own. I'm getting creative this weekend, so I'll see you guys on Friday. But we got Snoop, Luke, and Dylan with some UFC from a wild UFC card this weekend that was unpredictable to say the least. So we'll get into that and get out of here.
I'm talking in guap, now I'm speaking it fluent. When I hit the road, I won't leave till I do it. Acting out of hand, I'm like, be what you doing. We started off good, can't believe that we ruined it, yeah. I tried to fix with a sewing kid, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah. I tried to fix it, you know I did, yeah.
The first thing I want to say is I love that me and Luke were both on the edge of, I don't even know if I'm going to watch it. Maybe I'll watch a fight here and there. And then when 10 o'clock started, we both had that bitch butt. And we were locked in for fight 1.
I definitely got suckered in. I bought it at 10:07. That's when I got suckered in to buy it.
I said, fuck it. Something crazy is going to happen.
I had to, and thank God, because we had a banger of a pay-per-view main card, because it started off with a big upset from Johnny Walker taking down Ian Cutelaba with a first-round submission, which is actually crazy to say because he wasn't going to win that fight.
No, he wasn't.
Cutelaba went for a dumb-ass armbar, which put Johnny on his back and took control of the entire fight, and then was just trying to submit him the rest of the fight. And next thing you know, he submitted.
I didn't know why he did that, but then did you also peep after the fight that Johnny got kicked out of the arena immediately after? He was walking down the street in his shorts and gloves.
I saw that, but I didn't know why he got kicked
out.
So
he was walking down the street with his shorts and gloves on, and they said it was something about his team. Someone in his team did something where they all had to leave, and he didn't even get to change. So he was just walking down the Vegas Strip in his fucking UFC attire like, shit, I mean, they kicked me out.
That's wild.
But yeah, but this is what's going to happen. He's going to win this fight, and I'm already going to have him lose the next 2. He'll be right back here.
Moving on to the next fight, we have Irene Aldana taking down Macy Chiasson with a KO/TKO in round 3.
With a fucking liver kick on her back.
The tides were turning in the favor of Macy. Things were not going good for Irene, even though she was dominating. She was kind of dominating the whole fight everywhere. And then she was getting thrown on the ground in round 3. Hit her with a nice little liver kick on the ground. Nice liver kick KO. Never really seen before in the UFC like that. Just on the back, snipe that liver.
Bro, she hit her in the liver and her body just shut the fuck down.
I haven't seen a body KO like that. Like that was amazing to watch.
I told Luke as she was coming out, I said, "Fuck, I wish I knew who she was because she looked sick." And
what did I tell you? I told you.
And I 100% agree. She was badass.
But then we have for the third fight of the main card, a complete robbery.
A load of bullshit.
Daniel Rodriguez takes the decision win over Li Jingliang. When it wasn't even really that close. It was a good fight, but it really was. Li Jingliang was dominating the whole fight. It wasn't even close. Dana even said himself, when they even said it was a split decision, he was shocked.
Lee got fucking hoed this entire weekend, and I'm not okay with it. His suit, he had to break up a fucking fight. He had to do so much.
Signs on a 20-day notice. Is kind of respectful to his opponent.
Right.
Made an effort to look nice for the fans.
Right.
Attempted to stop a backstage brawl. Makes weight. Gets fucked on the decision.
It's a load of bullshit. I'm not okay with how they did my boy.
That's insane. But I will say he did on an interview with Ariel Helwani. He wore a shirt that had "robbed" written on it.
Well, at least he knows.
At least he knows he won that fight.
It was a grade A piece.
He
of
deserves
bullshit.
to know he won that fight. Next up, we have an absolute mauling.
Toss the notes out the window.
Devastation. Absolute control.
The first 45 seconds looked like
me
and Tyler fighting, just fucking wrestling all over the ground, me trying to get up, him pinning me down. It's like a little kid just trying to get fucking free, bro.
Khamzat Chimaev sprinted across the octagon at Kevin Holland as soon as the fight started, grabbed a hold of him, started ripping him and ragdolling him around like he was literal nothing.
Yeah, it was bad.
And then just eventually submitted him a couple minutes later in the round. There was no shot for Holland to do anything. He had zero control. He just got hit by a freight train and was rolling underneath the tracks as it was passing through.
And he didn't give a fuck that he didn't cut weight. He said that he would do 170
I respect him for
and 180. But I also love that Joe Rogan was hammering it on him when he was like, I don't care. And Joe's like, well, you understand, if this was a title fight and you want to be a fucking champion, you can't do this. Like, he was hammering it on him like, kind of like, hey, man, don't let this shit happen again. And I really like that he did that.
Needs that, but I got to give respect to Kevin Holland because he did take that fight when he was overweight and everything.
Kevin Holland just called out D-Rod.
Yeah. I mean,
literally 2 days ago after the fight, he was like, I got my money. I got the fight I was supposed to have. Give me D-Rod because that's what we were supposed to do originally.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the first fight.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, got to give him the respect for taking that because there was memes going around of Nate Diaz saying, oh, that ain't me. That ain't me.
Yeah, I don't.
But moving on to the main event, we had Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson go at it for 4 rounds, and I was about 2 minutes and 8 seconds away from turning $10 into $900 plus because I needed Nate Diaz to submit him in the 5th round, but he did it in the 4th round. But that was also paired up with the Chimaev KO/submission.
But I just want to say, if this is Nate Diaz's final fight, or at least for a while for now, however that's looking, you can't script it much better. You get to fight another UFC legend, Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, and Tony Ferguson. You put on a 4-round war with him. You do vintage Nate Diaz shit. You threw a fucking leg kick to his head with both his hands leaning against the fucking octagon. He was doing the most vintage Nate Diaz shit, all the stopping, all the hands on the knees turning, going back and forth.
Vintage Nate Diaz. That's just vintage Diaz in general.
Right. That's just what they're known for doing. And then after he was done, he got to the ground. He got the submission win. He got the flex up. He submitted him. He got it at 2:09. Don't know if anyone peeped that. Or 2:04, my bad. If anyone fucking peeped that. So I think that the stars aligned perfectly for Nate here, and I'm so happy for him.
Everyone wanted to see this. This is how everyone wanted to see Nate's last fight in the UFC, which could not be his last fight because he said he wants to go dominate another sport, regardless if it's boxing, kickboxing, any other form of fighting. He wants to show how to really do and take over. And then after he's done doing that, he said he wants to return to the UFC and get another belt. I mean, I guess that
ain't gonna happen.
I like that. I like the idea, Nate. But I don't think you're gonna get another belt. But I love the.
I want him to come back after.
I do want him to come back, but I don't think that belt's gonna really happen.
I hope when McGregor is done, he's on his way out. And
I think they're trying for the trilogy right now.
Diaz is well past his prime. Those two just say fuck it and
think they
run it back one more time.
I think Diaz might be trying for the Diaz and McGregor are trying for the trilogy.
Just why not?
But that's ultimately all we have for the UFC for tonight.
Bada bing, bada boom, and that means that's ultimately all that we have for tonight. As Tyler said, Wednesday night you'll get your MLB fix. And let me just tell you right now, here's your teaser. Albert Pujols. Oh, Albert Pujols. You'll get your MLB fix. Maybe you'll get some NHL. You'll get some NBA in there. Basically, everything non-football you'll get on Wednesday. If you want to see more of us, you're going to head over to Six Pack Coverage. If you want to see more of anything else podcast related that fits your entertainment need, you're going to see that on Six Pack Coverage as well. Boys, this is a great podcast. I appreciate all of you guys joining us. Like I said, if you want to come again, it will be Wednesday night at the regular time. Don't forget that Mondays will also be the regular time for the podcast moving forward. Thank you guys for watching Ride the Tide Sports Podcast Season 3, Episode 11. God damn it, I remembered. We appreciate you. Peace.